Hello, everybody. Welcome to Digimon Conflict, a podcast where I kidnap three, normally four of my friends, to make them watch Digimon, and we review the episodes. With me today, I have Keja,
Hi.
Kain,
Yo.
and Zeta.
Aloski.
Unfortunately, Cyanide couldn't make it, so we're going to be down one to this episode, but hopefully we'll get him back for the next one. So we did episode 7 through 13 to finish up the little arc that we are on, and hopefully get to the better stuff next watch through. But yeah, let's get right into the first episode. Our first episode, we get our next evolution, Ikakumon's harpoon torpedo, which was our first appearance of Gomamon's evolution, and the kids stumble upon a hot spring and have a very questionable conversation about eggs. And
Oh god, the obsession with eggs.
yeah, the random fridge in the middle of the hot spring.
Yeah, that was fun. Full
That
of
nobody
eggs.
questioned. Yeah.
I mean,
Bottle Island is crazy.
yeah, granted, Joe did question.
Yeah.
You can't say nobody questioned, because Joe always questions.
Yeah, this is fair.
That's
This
the
was
thing,
like-
though.
Mhm.
Joe was quiet through most of the first half. He only started speaking up through this episode onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
like, this is the episode where Joe, like, full on was like, I gotta actually do something. I gotta show that I have some worth here.
Yeah. It's really kind of. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say for a lot of the episodes up to now, and then quite a few moving forward, I've just typed Joe sucks for a lot of them because I forgot how much I don't like Joe in this series.
Ew.
He really is kind of like insufferable because he's like. So I get it because he is the oldest of the entire group.
Yeah.
And like in the Japanese, they put more emphasis on that of how he's like, I'm the oldest, I have to be the one in charge, I have to take care of everybody.
Mhm.
He is just least qualified to do so in so
Yeah.
many ways. I feel kind of bad with him, like in his little fight with Matt and Ty. Even
Mhm.
I forgot that he actually gets into that fight, and I kind of hate Sora for like ruining his moment. Like he was trying. He was trying to think it through with both of them. Like, oh, they both have a point. And then Sora's just like, yeah, guys, we'll just go to the cave. Fuck you, Sora. Let him have his moment. He deserved that. Goemon is just the best in this episode, though.
He is
Mhm.
such a sassy little shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
I love
That
it.
mohawk
I
ain't
love
for
the-
show.
Little tsundere Gomamon.
I just love when Joe decides that he's gonna climb the mountain and Gomamon's like, yeah, no, I have things to do up the mountain too. I'm not just following you, God.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Yeah,
halfway through, he needs Joe to help him up climb the rock. He can't do it.
Wholesome.
I hated that whole segment too because he's like, we shouldn't have everybody go together because that would be safety in numbers. I'm gonna go by myself.
I'll
Yeah.
go alone.
When he knows goddamn well there are things out there that are 3 times his size and could eat him in one bite.
True, but to be fair, he made it up that mountain by himself. Well, like
He did.
he got up
damn
there.
Sure did it.
I wouldn't have been able to do it.
No,
That's for
no.
damn sure. You're not getting me to climb a fucking
God
mountain.
no.
When he said he was always the best climber, I was like, really? This guy?
Yeah.
This little scaredy cat.
Yeah.
A little selfish of him to bring the emergency food bag with him when he left everybody else
Mhm.
there.
It was
Oh.
empty anyway, remember?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't empty yet.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I was gonna
Alright.
say that was a little bit later.
They ate quite a bit of the food at the fucking telephone things, but it wasn't
Uh-huh.
completely tapped.
Yeah.
Also, they had. I love that the dub changed a bit of the conversation about eggs because, like, they found this entire fridge full of eggs and they're like cooking them a bunch of weird ways on rocks and stuff. And they're having
Yeah.
a conversation of like how they like their eggs back home.
Oh,
And
God.
Salt and pepper. And...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vile.
Most of them are pretty normal. And then they decide to change Izzy's to I like my eggs with mustard and jelly beans.
What was the thing in the actual sub that he said?
I think it's just like I don't remember if it's soy sauce or yuzu sauce or something.
Oh, that's more normal
I
sounding.
know.
Yeah.
I guess it was probably yuzu because I feel like yuzu is probably like not something
Yeah,
as
yuzu's probably a little
common.
different because it's got like a citrusy taste to it. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I was like, that's weird. Why would you edit it to mustard and jelly beans?
And that would make sense with the Diaborum, that our war game thing. Now that I'm thinking about it,
True, actually, yeah.
with, like Ty's mom's crazy cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also still a dub thing. Be fair.
Probably.
I also want to bring up it's kind of fucked up that the Digimon also ate those eggs with no problem because they know damn well they come from eggs.
True, which we learn about that later on.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Also,
It's
fucking Ikaku's missile attack is a missile that releases into a missile.
Now, I'm not quite happy of how this episode's named because it doesn't sound like something it should be an episode title.
What, you don't like Ikakumon's harpoon torpedo?
I've been through too much and seen too many things to know that that's an innuendo almost.
Listen, this is a kid show. Ikaku is a fucking narwhal. He's fine.
Wait, is he a narwhal?
I believe Ikaku comes from the word narwhal, yeah.
But narwhals are fish. He's not a fish.
But Gomamon comes from the word for spotted seal. So, like, I think they just kept with the theme.
Okay, so I was like...
Makes sense. I was always wondering what the hell he was supposed to be.
I'm pretty
He's just a giant, furry, four-legged creature.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that his name is supposed to come from narwhal. So, I also wrote Greymon's tiny T-Rex arms for some reason. I'm assuming it's in the
because on the cliff fight.
Yeah, with the Unimon, but like also in sub, Unimon never fucking talks. So
yeah, he just like does horse sounds, right?
Yeah, so the reason why they gave him voice lines, no idea.
I mean, maybe to give him more personality, I guess.
Maybe, but like
because he doesn't stay very long after that fight. He just kind of like, you know what? I'm good now. Bye, guys.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out, which I don't blame him.
Also, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say this is the first time one of the kids got to see a Digimon get hit by the black gear like in person, right?
Oh yeah,
that's what we discussed when we watched it as well.
Yeah, it's first actual like confirmation for them. And of course Joe's the first one to see it.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually get talked about. They just go to the top of the mountain at the end of the episode, and then he falls down into despair that, oh my god, it actually is an island. How dare. Like,
I just love how the entire fight was on a narrow cliff face, and all these Digimon have gigantic ass forms that could easily crumble the entire path.
Oh yeah, but this is not the first time they have digivolved in awkward
very
situations.
Weird places. Yeah.
It's also I think it's still a couple more episodes before the kids actually learn that they're in the Digi world in the original.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point that is though. I know that it's not prevalent for these first 7 episodes, but I don't remember at what point they actually bring it up. So
I mean, it should have technically happened this episode when they reach the top of Infinity Mountain.
No, because they still think they're on an island. And I know for sure they still think they're in the Digi world. I think for the cult episode. So
I was gonna say, but what about obviously this is a couple of episodes later, but when Leomon was talking about the
yeah, when Leomon's talking to him, they definitely know everything there, but I don't remember if they find out stuff before then. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. It's been too long since I've watched this. This is where it'd be nice to have Cyanide here because he's actually watching the subtitle version. Because I have general knowledge from the original. I don't. I did not rewatch the subtitled episodes for these. So I rewatched the subtitled episode for one episode on this one, but we'll get to that one because it is one very specifically I had to watch the subtitle. I almost made y'all watch the subtitle version.
Which one was it?
The final episode.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, yeah, and I do agree. I hate Joe. I still like him more than I like Sora, but I do hate Joe. But
I mean, he's the necessary nagger.
He is the necessary nagger, but he also has a much better partner than Sora does.
True.
That's fair.
Gomamon is just adorable and sassy.
I'm sorry,
I love
but
him
Beelmon's
so
just an ass
much.
kisser.
Oh my god.
That beak is brown with how fucking far up Sora's butt she is.
Yeah,
Diamon's cute, but she doesn't really have much personality.
No.
It doesn't come till
Don't.
like I think it doesn't come till like future series that she actually has a personality.
And Bergermon is gross too. I don't like Bergermon.
Bergermon, the ketchup mustard Digimon.
I don't. Of all the partners, I just feel like it's the most unoriginal, and it's like it's so fitting because she's got the worst fucking partner that just like Beomon still doesn't deserve to be treated like shit the way that Sora treats her in the subtitle. I will say that, but I still don't like her. The hate will always stand. So unless y'all have any more notes on that one, on to the next episode where things really kind of go down.
Ooh. No, I'm thinking I'm good.
Alright, episode 8. Evil shows his face. This is our first appearance where we do see the main big bad. The kids find a random hotel / mansion and decide it's perfectly safe to go inside and sleep and eat food, and turns out it was all a trap.
God, the golden goose egg was actually a rotten egg in disguise.
Yup.
Awesome. Leomon is so cool. Holy shit.
Honestly.
I'm sorry, but as much as I love Leomon in all the series, he was kind of a bitch in this episode because he got fingered not once, not twice, but 3 times.
He was having a rough time of it this episode, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a warrior, Digimon. After the first time, you should kind of predict where the next attack is coming from. God damn it.
Only one shame on me type shit, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say, so I don't know if this is very obvious in the dub. I know to look out for it, so it's more obvious to me, but, so Leomon's not infected with a black gear.
No, not initially.
Yeah, Leomon's just being mind controlled by Devimon's power. So, like, they're not defeating a black gear here. And I think at one point they refer to him being controlled by a black gear, even though he's not. It's a whole other thing. So
yeah, I remember. I think it's in the previous episode when he gets controlled initially. He talks about his power, and obviously Leomon gets controlled there, but there's no black gear shown, so it's kind of implied that it's not.
Okay.
But obviously, if you're not paying attention, I can understand assuming that it's a black gear.
Yeah. Also, there was a lot of censorship in this episode. It is a bathhouse. It's a bathhouse episode.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. No. That makes sense.
But the censorship isn't on the girl side at all.
What?
Yeah. So all the scenes that are cut are on the boys' side. So when Joe initially comes into the bathhouse, of course he has the towel on, which is in Japanese culture like weird because normally that you don't go into a bathhouse with your towel on.
Oh, yeah.
And the boys are giving him shit for it. So like there's a whole apparently tussle scene between Ty and Matt both getting him into the water and then taking off his towel, and you get a lot of ass shots of the boys all the time. So a lot of the dialogue between Matt and Ty and Joe in there is like really quick because they keep the voice lines in, but they cut out the scenes. So that pacing is a little
Honestly?
weird, but yeah, they cut out booty shots for the boys because no.
I'm kind of glad they did that because there's already a bunch of sus shit in this episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do see them all in their underwear still.
Sleeping all in the same
Matt-
room.
Sleeping all, bruh. There's that scene I literally have written down. Matt is flashing everyone because he's sitting there in his robe with just his leg propped up, and the girls are across from him, and like this bitch gives no shits. He knows what he's doing.
Even when
And
he
you-
was a babe, he
Yup.
was playing.
Yep. What did Ty say? He's like too cool. The token cool guy or something in the first episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's
There-
just the cool guy.
Yeah.
There is something I want to touch on from the very beginning of this episode, and that's how bad the dub acting was for both Leomon and Ogremon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
sounded like
yeah.
AI generated voices.
Yeah. A lot of the voice acting for both of them, even when they're controlled, is very clippy, but that's just because they
Mhm.
get a lot of lip lock with
Yeah.
trying to match flaps. 'Cause this was before they really figured out how to do proper dubbing in
All
anime.
right.
So
Look, I'll be blunt. As
yeah.
long as you don't sound like a robot, I don't care if your lip sync is off.
yeah.
Please, just sound like a normal human being.
Yeah, Leomon being taken over, the voice sounded really familiar, and it was really throwing me off.
Yeah. I don't even know who does his voice in the series.
Me either. He said it sounded when he was like being controlled. It sounded like the evil mask from like Crash Bandicoot.
Oh my god.
That's another thing to bring up too. Did they ever touch on how the black gears are made? Because I don't remember them ever mentioning it.
I don't think it's ever like mentioned in the dub. It is mentioned in the last episode, or either the last episode or the episode before it, where Devimon says that he realized how to use the black gears. So the black gears
Okay.
existed, and he just turned them evil and utilized them for evil and stuff. But it wasn't like something he created.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I
Right.
was wondering because I wasn't sure. I don't remember if he created them or if he just fucking manipulated them because they never fucking touched on it in this entire arc.
No, it's not touched on in the dub at all. I don't believe it's all subtitle related. A lot of plot points are kind of skewed in the dub in this first arc, really badly. We'll get
Mhm.
more into that in the last couple episodes because yeah, they really ruined a certain kind of surprise, I guess. I mean, something they've been foreshadowing, but I think it's foreshadowed better in the sub. Speaking of the angel painting in the house,
Yeah.
and TK
Yeah.
just being like, "Oh, angels they're safe and they're like superheroes," and Patamon's like,
Kind
"Oh,
of like you guys.
yeah, that's not foreshadowing at all whatsoever." Granted, Devimon pops out of that picture like halfway through the episode, and
Which was fucking hilarious
Yeah.
of how ironic that is.
I mean, he is a fallen angel, so I guess it works.
Yeah. It's not technically ironic if it's
Yeah.
accurate.
So
Yeah, true.
Gomamon being the token peeper of the bathhouse episode, and be like, I'm gonna be the one to go on the girl's side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's a Digimon. I mean, there's no real difference between their genders.
No.
It's like they don't really fucking think about that shit.
No.
Yeah.
But that was
I also
Mhm.
that was the first time that they kind of hinted at Gabumon's whole thing as well.
yeah.
When you were talking about Joe
Oh yeah.
Joe peeking in or coming in and being shy, and Gabumon's like outside the door, and he like pulled his weird like fluff up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
His
so
little
self
And I was like,
pouch.
oh,
Yeah.
that was when I realized. I was like, oh, his fluff isn't like actually like
That fur isn't
attached,
his.
I guess.
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
a
And then
pouch.
it was like at a future episode, I was like, oh my god, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that one's something that fits with his name because his name does come from like a kabuki doll where it pulls off cloak to reveal a woman underneath, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a kabuki doll that it's a monster, but underneath the cloak is a woman, or vice versa. I don't remember. One of the two.
Looks up at the image. Kain
I was gonna
put
say
in
it
the
might be vice
Discord.
versa because that's a hell of a monster underneath.
Yeah, that ain't no lady.
I remember. I don't know enough about kabuki as much as I just know random shit about like the names of Digimon for quizzes and stuff.
I think that this image in particular came out like after the Try movies came out.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like on a character ref sheet that they had for Gabumon, and this was like in the bottom corner. So this is like official. This is what he looks like under the belt.
Yeah, we finally see it.
Why the fuck does he have a tattoo on his arm when we never see it?
Listen, he's a bad boy. It's fine.
He look like he's in the army.
Listen, have we all seen Horimiya here? They can go from cute and cuddly to being bad boys. It's fine.
Okay.
Or vice versa, yes.
He looks so sad.
I mean, when I look at Gabumon, I don't really think cute and cuddly. I think he's pretty ferocious looking. I mean, he's got a good personality.
He's cute and cuddly. He's definitely cute and cuddly after another episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, personality-wise, he is. It's just his appearance. He looks like he could kick your ass and then some.
Nah, he's cuddly. I'd still cuddle him. Also, obvious censorship here, which I don't think I have to point out. Agumon pooping and them turning Ogremon's cringe because Agumon farted and it stunk, and to him laughing instead at something Agumon said.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I
that
thought
makes
that was
a lot
weird.
more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the subtitle, the whole bit there is like Agumon's like, I feel like I should poop because we ate so much, but he doesn't have to poop, which makes sense later on because they didn't actually eat anything.
Not real food.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't understand why I can't poop, and then he farts, and then Ogremon is like dying because it stinks so bad. Not laughing because they're talking about whatever.
I do like that they touched that the Digimon actually do have to use the restroom like everybody else.
I mean, in Digimon World 1, that was
I
the key component of the game. So,
I hated that mechanic so much.
Keja, in Digimon World 1, the first Digimon console game, you have to take your Digimon to a toilet whenever it has to poop. Because if it doesn't get to a toilet, it'll poop out in the open, and if it poops in the open, it gets viruses and it can get sick.
Oh.
Yeah. So
or carry like 99 porta potties. Let's go.
Yeah, you can bring porta potties with you, but yeah, it's a very key component that is very annoying when you're like, cool, we're nowhere near a toilet. You're just gonna have to poop right here.
Oh my god.
I honestly hate that game because that is the only game where I have to memorize toilet locations.
That's the game that's actually based off of it's based off of this island that we're on in the anime series, though. So,
yeah, File Island.
And a lot of the locations that are used are actually like named in the
they actually are. I'm glad that they kept the actual names for each location too, even in the dub.
It's consistent, so even if it's not always mentioned right off the bat, they still kind of keep them.
Yeah, they're nice little Easter eggs.
My only other notes for this are just some like notes from lines of Joe saying he would rather go to summer school than camp, and Mimi complaining that her gloves don't go with her dress.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was really out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Now, we also learn about Ty's impressive map making skills here.
Oh yeah, the beginning of the episode. His doodle.
Yeah, and then Agumon burning his map, which ends up to this.
Yeah.
To them getting a little bit pissed off at each other later.
I love the dynamic between a lot of the partners and their humans, or the humans and their Digimon partners, because like they're really well matched up. Aside from Sora, who just shits on Biyomon the entire time, like they're all perfectly matched in a way, like to almost exactly what they would need personality wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's cute.
Also, to touch on the fucking censorship, I love that during the entire flying bed scene, like they magically have their pajamas and shit.
Yeah,
I was gonna mention that.
I don't remember if that's like touched on better in the subtitle or not, because they do flash to showing them on the beds when they're floating before they get separated.
Yeah.
But they are obviously not there when they're lounging around in the robes. But of course, they're not in the robes when they're flying around. So we missed a scene somewhere where they took off the robes and decided to sleep in their underwear. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the weird thing about that is there was one point I think when they woke up originally and realized that I don't know. At some point they woke up and Sora was holding her blanket up over her chest, indicating that she didn't have anything on.
She
And
does.
then suddenly she has pajamas.
She does have it on in the subtitle. I still remember that. So I think that's still just a modesty thing. Like, cause, like,
right.
You don't want to see a guy to see you in your bra or your very thin pajama outfit. I guess. I don't know.
I just thought it was funny.
At that age, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I just thought it was stupidly funny that they magically did that shit.
I love that, like, Devimon disappeared the entire house, the robes, and everything else, but not the beds. The beds were real. The beds were the only
definitely real.
The beds were the only thing that was real.
Look, he's an evil Digimon. He's not a complete bastard. He at least gave them beds with clean sheets so they can be easily transported.
Yeah.
And this is where we get our first big party split up too. So that's a fun experience.
Yeah, because from this episode on, it's like everybody's on their own. Leomon kind of chunks Tai and Agumon into the sea and hopes they survive. So
what a good
hopes
guy.
they survive?
I mean, he just kind of cuts them off at the cliff and they fall onto a rock that floats away.
Oh yeah, because they flash him with the Digivice and he turns back. Remember?
Yeah.
No. I was just poking fun because you said in hopes of them surviving. It's like I thought he was intending to kill them.
I mean, he could have been. He could have just got unlucky.
But both.
I'm sorry, is Devimon a little bit confused on his objectives here? Did he not want to destroy the children?
He doesn't want to destroy the children. He actually wants to kill them all.
Yeah.
So, anything else on this episode before next?
Why are Devimon's arms so fucking long?
They are very long.
All the better to squeeze you with.
Oh.
No, that was it.
Next episode, Sub-Zero Ice Punch. Is their introduction to the ice area. Frigimon. Tai finds Matt, who is in shambles at the moment, beyond reasoning, because he has lost his baby brother. And it is both wholesome but also kind of annoying to a point.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the man literally ended up with frostbite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we get the cute moment of like, Gabumon's like, okay, you stay warm. I'm gonna go, look for your brother. And then Matt still runs out and is like, no, I gotta. And then Gabumon comes back.
Responsibility.
Yeah, and he's passed out in the snow, and Gabumon has Gabumon, not Gomamon, has to disrobe to warm his partner up. It's just adorable, but
look down at Matt like, God damn it, you're an idiot, but I still love you.
Yeah. This is also the third time Matt and Tai fight when Tai finds them, and
oh yeah, they beat the hell out of each other too.
So this is also a censored fight. They cut out all the point aside from the first punch that's thrown. All the points of impact of the punches are cut from this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God. Because
violence. Too
Is that
violent.
like
You can't
my
do.
Digimon? Nah.
Which is fucking hilarious because Saban does Power Rangers and shit too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, so it's okay for the Digimon to fight, but it's not okay for the children to fight?
Yes.
Oh no,
Why, not at all.
that's forbidden.
Yeah, you can't punch. The Digimon can throw things at each other, but some of the Digimon
They can
punches are
shoot
also censored.
beams and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
But before we even get to that point, I want to point out the fucking fact that the plot convenience of Ty's clothes just magically appearing in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Frozen.
How does his clothes freeze in exact like shirt and pants position though?
I just want to know how the fuck they even got there to begin with. Did Devimon just immediately explode everything the second the island scattered?
I'm gonna assume because his make the least amount of sense. Because if everybody else's were on their bed, Ty
Yeah,
wasn't
or
with
in
his
their
bed.
bag.
So
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck are you clothed or found your clothes? That's bullshit.
I'm just glad he was one of the only characters that wasn't. No, he wasn't his tidy whities. He was the. Why is he the only
Yeah.
one in his fucking tidy whities? Like everyone else is in boxers. Like,
No. TK's also got like
TK
briefs.
also brief?
Yeah, he's
TK
got
was a-
white
Yeah.
briefs.
He was in
Oh, but
briefs.
TK's
Briefs
like
are
8.
briefs are acceptable for him.
Well, yeah, I mean it makes sense for him.
Yeah.
Ty, on the other hand, is like, there's no excuse. That's
Yeah.
horrible for soccer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
That's
yeah,
constraining as
imagine.
fuck when you're trying to do
Yeah.
soccer shit.
Could
Oh.
not know. Would not know at all.
Definitely would not know.
Also, I love Frigimon comes in with the black gear and is just like, ha! Frigimon flex. It's like
I loved
Oh my
Frigimon
God.
this
this
episode.
bitch turned
He's
into
fantastic.
he turns into a fucking Pokemon when he's got a black gear in him because all he says is his name and starts laughing. And then-
Sub-Zero Ice Punch.
They get rid of his black gear and then he turns into a Brooklyn Frigimon.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
come on.
accent
You
really
can't
threw
just
me off.
skim over the amazing fortitude of them getting rid of that gear. Fucking turning Agumon into a
The
goddamn soccer ball.
Soccer ball.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was the best moment of this entire episode. Agumon becomes soccer ball and just
Yeah.
fucking eats under him.
That I guess Ty can use his head. I mean, that's an ingenuity
Every
on
now
his
and then.
side.
Yeah.
Oh, when all else fails, soccer.
Also,
I just love it's like.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, continue.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just love like before that obviously him trying to lift Agumon. He's like, yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
throw you. I can barely lift you, buddy.
But I can kick you.
Like, I got a strong leg. My upper body strength is shit, but I never skip leg day.
No, I want to throw some shade at Genshin for stealing Frigimon's bridge building skills and giving them to
Oh
Kaya.
yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Because
Now I want to see a video of somebody doing the Kaya trick, but you just hear Frigimon's Sub-Zero Ice Punch instead.
it's the Sub-Zero ice punch and then followed with the Frigimon. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Frigimon. He was having a fun time. Frigimon
Yeah.
was super chill. I was a big fan.
Also, I'm gonna throw a little shade at you, Keja. Just a little shade at you. So-
Mentioned about the freaking Frigimon thing.
So one, Frigimon's original name, because Frigimon is the English name. The Japanese name is Yukidarumon, which means snowman.
Oh.
Because he's supposed to be a reference to Frosty the Snowman, which is why, like, in the dub, he actually is supposed to be speaking like Frosty the Snowman, not a Brooklyn accent, but yeah. But in this episode, or as we finish this episode, Keja's like, I love how literal their names are. Pokemon names aren't that literal normally, and I'm like, Sparky Mouse Noises, the Char Lizard, the dinosaur with a bulb on its back being called Bulbasaur. Yeah, Pokemon names
To
aren't
be
literal.
fair, we had this discussion afterwards, but I didn't realize that the Mon part was supposed to be a friggin' file thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, Centarmon. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Uh, brain is dying. Can't remember.
Pedro.exe stopped
Andromon.
working.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, literal android, literal
Here's an
centaur.
easy
Like,
one for a Unimon.
Yep.
oh yeah, Unimon. Like, it's so like that you can remember it easily because it's literally just what it is, and then Mon at the end.
Pokemon is the same thing.
It's more complex than that, but yes.
No, it's not.
I hate to argue with you on this, but it's not that much difference. They're both literal.
Mhm.
They are literal. It's not easy to remember. Well, it's still easy to remember, but having Mon at the end of everything makes it very simple. Just like, oh, what is it? Okay.
It's a Digimon of some sort.
Also, Moja meaning Shaggy, so he's just a Shaggymon.
Oh yeah.
They really hit us with the hey, this Digimon is really peaceful twice in this episode. By the way,
They really did.
Oh, he's a peaceful Digimon. Bullshit.
Oh, Mojamon's normally a peaceful Digimon. Oh, well, you should tell him that because he doesn't seem like it.
Actually, so we didn't mention
like
this.
how the kids are also getting tired of that. That
Yeah.
place. Like, your guys are capping.
So
stop lying.
we got the first hint of that in the last episode when they're like, "Oh, let me guess, is Ogremon also a nice Digimon?" And I don't know if it's Gomamon or Tintamon. They're like, "No, he's actually a bad
guy." He's just a dick.
Yeah. So,
I wish they would have made him like the token bad guy, like they did in Digimon World 1.
I mean, he is. Well, no, he isn't into 2020 actually. 2020 is still kind of redeemable.
Yeah.
So
it's nice though in this episode because it's like, once they like take the gear off Frigimon, I think it's in that episode.
Yeah.
Frigimon's like, oh, I'll go find something to help Matt with his help
Gabumon.
Yeah.
Devimon with his cold, and then they fall flat on him.
It's raining children again. What the fuck?
I love that comment so much.
I love Frigimon. Good.
He's so cute.
I do love the trope that even in other anime and games that Frigimon's kind of like the nurse Digimon.
It is very, very typecast. It's like this episode did so much with like Matt and his like brother complex in a way. And I think the dub did a pretty good job on like kind of dealing with the opposite side, because Tai is real focused on like, let's get to the island, but like I think it doesn't touch on that he wants to get to the island because he thinks everyone else is going to be smart enough to move there, and Matt's just like, no, TK's by himself.
TK's got Patamon, one of the smarter Digimon
so,
in the group.
In the dub, when this is all resolved, Matt does say, yeah, TK will be fine because Patamon's with them, just like we kind of in a way like, oh, because I have Gabumon and you have Agumon, like he's got a partner with him as well. But in the subtitle, I believe he's actually, TK's gonna be okay because he's my brother after all. So he's more like, he's more confident because like, yeah, I'm cool. So my brother's
I'm so cool, so my brother's cool.
Yeah.
Even though they're completely different personality-wise.
They are. But yeah, it's cute getting a little bit more on like Matt kind of being like the more sarcastic. Well, he's more sarcastic and sassy, I guess, in the dub, but he's more like aloof in the subtitle. But seeing him be trying to be the good big brother and that like crashing down on him right now is just like kind of heartbreaking in a way. So I love their pairing so much. Their little growth with each other. What else? Did we even see anything from this episode?
I wanted to touch on the fight with Mojamon. I do really like the fact that Frigimon holds Mojimon down so they can attack him. But as soon as they attack him, it's so much force it knocks them into the broken open mountain full of black gears, and it's like, isn't this just gonna put another one in the back of Frigimon? They're gonna have to fight Frigimon all fucking over again.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that's, I guess, our first sign that, like, yeah, the black gears are just kind of normal. They're just kind of embedded in the island. It's just Devimon that's just like, hey, I can pop these out and use them against my enemies and stuff.
And the plot convenience of them hitting the gears, it just reverses directions. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, cool.
I mean,
That intrigued me actually, because I was like, I thought when they opened the wall of it that you know, that they would come flying out like they did from the mountain,
Yeah.
and then obviously when they didn't, that's, as you said, when you realize that that's not what they're made for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just made for keeping the island in stability, probably.
It does make me wonder, because I actually don't know this, because if File Island is made of gears and that's what keeps it, like, moving, I wonder if, like, other regions, because by the end of these 13 episodes, we learn there's more to the world, of course, or at least the children kind of realize there might be more to the world, but, like, if the other islands have different components that build up the island. I don't remember if that's the case or not, or if that's ever touched on, or if it's specifically File Island and it's just like, yeah, this island's made of gears. It's different.
I think the only time it's ever touched on is in Digimon World 1. Because I remember when you first meet Andromon in Factory Town, he does say that he knows what a lot of shit's going on with the actual island because it's all mechanical.
Yeah.
Which never gets touched on in this anime.
Yep. So I am curious on that one, because I don't know too much beyond, like, the world building outside of File Island, because most of what I know from File Island is either from this anime or this arc, or from, I get Digimon World 1 as well, so.
Yeah.
The only time I think anything outside of File Islands touched upon is in Digimon World 2, because that apparently their entire storyline takes place on a continent that's outside of File Island. They eventually go to it.
I never finished World 2. I got tired of the dungeon system.
I don't blame you. I mean, I love that game to death. It's one of my favorite Digimon World games because of all the cool mechanics and shit. But the story's actually kind of fucking nice.
Yeah,
like, I didn't know that it was a continent outside of File Island, and you could actually go back to it.
I didn't know that either. So the way Digimon World 2 works is you go into specific dungeons, but there's only so many steps you can take each time you're in there, and I'm like, I get so far, and I'm like, fuck, I have to come back.
Yeah, and it's really grindy. Yeah. Like, it had a lot of potential. It just had too many drop-offs.
Yeah. Are we ready for next episode?
Yar, that was the only point I wanted to bring up.
Next episode 10, A Clue from the Digipast. This is Izzy and Mimi meet up on the ancient dino ruins. Another key spot for the video game. But
wait, did they really call this the ancient dino ruins?
It's the ancient dino region. It's the ruins inside the ancient dino region. It's mentioned in the subtitle. I don't think it's mentioned in the dub. So
God, I would have never known that in the dub. Jesus.
Yep. So Mimi once again finds a new suitor and some flirty poop and a mouse. But it's not poop. It's hair moose. It's definitely hair moose.
It's hair moose?
That's what she says it is.
No, please don't agree with that.
Her and Patamon run away from her new stalker. Well, initially run away, and then they win him over with her magic digivice, and now they're good guys, and they want kisses from her. So her and Patamon go to the other island that's running parallel to it, and run into Izzy, who is very preoccupied on his PC.
I like how you say they won them over through the Digivice when it's just like he got super handsy and accidentally brushed it and it just brainwashed his ass.
It did. It's like
Literally.
a light shined on him, and he's like, "Oh, you're
Ooh,
really
pretty.
pretty."
I feel good.
Oh God, it's like I said, Mimi gets all the Digiboys for some reason.
Yeah, the
It
shit.
But
makes
none of
me
them are good
uncomfortable
looking.
every time.
I will say that Sukamon is literally my most hated Digimon in the entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still hate Biomon more.
At least Biomon's not a
Damn.
giant walking gold turd.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. Chumon's kind of cute.
Shumon's fine. Okay, the little rat,
Uh,
he's cool. He's
He
fine.
looks like he's cracked out of his mind.
You've
He's
been
so
hating
much
for too long.
Something
sicker
wrong
than
with
fucking
that rat.
Sukamon.
That rat has some problems.
Yeah. One thing I want to touch on here, which I could have touched on sooner. So there's a kind of a change that's done with Izzy's character in a dub, and it's not really a bad change. It's very much like a necessary change because of cultural differences.
Mhm.
So in the dub, they just kind of make him like very sarcastic and nerdy, and he just uses a bunch of big terminology and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just humans inferior. I just focus on my computer kind of thing. Like very over exaggerated, but kind of that feel. In the original subtitled version, he's actually just very antisocial and very formal. Like even with Tai, who is I think the only one he really knows before them coming to this digital world, he uses very formal speech, and English language doesn't really have formal ways of speaking with people without just sounding weird.
Yeah.
So where in Japan it's like it's very common that you'll hear people speak very formally to other people of higher rank or whatever. So they translated him being very, very antisocial and very formal with everybody to him just being very nerdy and very smart. So he just in this episode it comes off as him being kind of cold to Mimi when he's like, "Leave me alone. You're crying and you're annoying me." When in reality he's just like, "I'm just trying to help," because he thinks going through all this code is gonna help fix the island to go the other direction, which will fix her problem, which is what she wants, and he thinks he's helping her, and he's like, "Why are you crying? I'm trying to help you. What's going on?" And he's just lost at like what to do because he does not understand why she's crying. Where in the dub, he's like, "Your crying is annoying me. Now Palmon's crying, and you're both annoying me." I'm like, poor Izzy.
That's a man fix this shit.
Yeah. And then
Tintamon has more empathy than Izzy does in the dub.
yeah,
Which is why he's necessary. He's the polarized Izzy's fucking antisocial behavior.
this is the second time we get to hear Izzy's catchphrase prodigious though, which makes me happy. 10-year-old me was saying prodigious all the fucking time because I thought it was cool. Because I heard it on Devimon.
I thought it was an actual word for the longest time. And it was just one I didn't know.
Ew.
No, just digiisms.
And I think this is the first time they mention that the Digimon can't digivolve if they're separated from their partner either.
Yep. Yeah.
I think Tentomon made a big deal about that.
Yeah, because Tentomon ends up running off with Mimi, and Palmon ends up staying behind with Izzy, which is kind of fun getting to see them interact with each other's partners in a way.
Yeah.
Instead of interacting with their own. Another change is like eventually Izzy realizes that Mimi's run off into the maze and not outside, and then he uses the computer that he's been working on to like find her on the map, and he says that he's gonna use the Digivice to communicate with her, but once again at this point in this episode he doesn't know it's called a Digivice. He does find that out in this episode, but not at this point. And then in the subtitles, it's never mentioned how he's actually talked to her. So this is the dub actually gives a clarification of how they're communicating.
Oh.
Don't know if it's the accurate way of how they're communicating, but he it gives a reason.
So basically, this part was just kind of poorly written in general, and they just made an escape plot point.
Yeah. Well, this is like two of their most censored characters, I guess, in an episode because his personality almost got completely rewritten because of
Actually,
cultural, and then hers also got rewritten because they didn't want to have like a competent female. They wanted that's into fashion. They wanted to have a ditzy female into fashion. So.
yeah, because Izzy got spoiled in the dub about the world being completely like fabricated and being data, he might have already assumed that he could talk to Mimi through the thing.
Probably.
So since it's like digital transference signal of audio and visual, he could probably do it.
Yeah. Which we don't know what all he figured out from those ruins yet either.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
They're extremely vague.
Yep. But yeah, they run into Centarmon or Kentarmon, depending on romanization. And once again, black gear. I kept getting distracted because Centarmon has a really awkwardly placed crotch piercing that I did not like.
The cod piece.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gotta keep it safe, you know?
Yeah, where the human bottom would be, there is a piercing there. And I kept looking at it, and it was making me uncomfortable because I never noticed it before until this episode. Watching.
Oh yeah, it is blatant too.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't notice that. I just thought that was a fucked up part of his like armor patching.
Yeah,
Damn, Santaramon, you fucking kinky son of a bitch! You got a piercing there.
Yep. No kink shaming though.
I mean, even if he did have a thing, I really hope it wouldn't be in that particular position because that's a really awkward position to have that.
That's ooh.
Another fucked up thing for the dub, and this is one of those dub things they threw in as a joke, and then it just never mentioned again because they're like, yeah, we'll just pretend that never happened. Mimi says something about like, this is worse than my little brother, about like Sukamon, I guess.
Yeah.
She's an only child.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, she's an only child. She has no siblings.
Man, that's horribly awkward.
I mean,
wow.
They wrote Matt and TK into being half brothers and gave Mimi an imaginary sibling out of nowhere, and they just have to pretend that doesn't exist anymore. So
good job, Saban.
Yeah, I guess they weren't expecting that much backstory from a kids show, but we do get a decent amount of backstory for these kids as things go on. So I'm assuming this is a Mimi line because I just have in quotes "bad kitty out" in all caps. I don't.
Oh yeah, I think that was a reference to Leomon.
Oh,
when Leomon came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, she didn't say that to Centarmon, did she?
No, because Leomon comes in after they save Centarmon.
Right. Under that, I also have that felt interesting in quotations.
I also like this is the one episode where they really factor in like the sheer size of the Digimon, and it's like, oh damn, Izzy almost became a pincushion. Oh damn, Mimi almost got crushed to death.
Yo, she got pressed right behind Kabutarimon's ass. Like she's pressed up against the wall with giant
big stinger too.
Yeah. At least it's going the opposite direction.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's like maybe we shouldn't digivolve in the small places anymore.
Yeah. But now this is the episode where we get the clarification of what the Digivices are, because these ruins are dedicated to the holy device that is the Digivice, and they kind of get a little bit of the scoop of like saving, like the device being used to save the island whenever darkness comes or something like that. Yeah.
And I think it's the first time we hear the word digidestined, isn't it?
Yes. Though that isn't really expanded on until Leomon tells us about it later. Because they're all so confused of like, digidestined? And then like, which digidestined is a dubism it is just chosen children in the subtitled, but
They need something catchy.
yeah, I guess to
Just
go
like
along with the Digivolve.
Digivolution thing.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm okay with these because I kind of like both the sound of both of those words, so it's fine
yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
But if we continue on and we do go into like Try or something, I don't think they ever use Digidestined ever again. I think they only use Chosen Children and Try.
I think they do because I think Joe talks about.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do say it once or twice, but it's just like it's not as important as it used to be.
Okay. Yeah, I just
Because everybody's a chosen child now.
yeah. There's a lot more of them.
You get a Digivice, and you get a Digivice. Everybody gets a Digivice.
Right.
Where's my Digibuddies?
Oh my
For real,
goodness.
get me out of
Please.
this world.
Next episode.
Oh boy.
The dancing
No,
Digimon.
hold on. You
What?
forgot one very key
Oh no!
thing.
What did I forget?
You forgot that this is the episode where Sukamon and Chumon forever drift out into the ocean, never to be seen again.
Yeah. Oh no, they get seen again.
Oh yeah,
They get seen again.
How the fuck did they figure out how to reverse the island?
At the end of this fucking this arc, they reverse the islands.
No, that was
Oh
Izzy.
yeah, they all go back
Izzy and
together.
Mimi
Yeah.
was
No,
fine.
at the
other
end
one
of
was
this-
still going.
At the end of this arc.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
all the
all
island
go
gets
good
put all back
together.
together.
On episode 13.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Damn,
Yeah.
I was hoping they were gone forever. Dang.
Nope. They
Nah.
come back.
Aw.
I remember them coming back.
Yup, same.
Man. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious how they just left them to die.
Oh my god. Alright, next episode, The Dancing Digimon, episode 11.
Ooh, this episode almost put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So Joe and Gomamon are floating out at sea. Joe's dying because he's seasick. Gomamon's eating all the food. They run into Ogremon in a box, and he pops out, attacks them. They almost die until they get caught on Sora's fishing line, which is just a twig on a string, by the way. She has no bait. And they end up on the island with Sora, the greatest pairing of all time, the two best characters in the show. And they run into a cult. And, yeah. Cult was kind of fun.
They learn a valuable Ogremon secret. He can't swim.
Oh, yeah, he can't swim.
He just gives up the chase because he can't actually swim.
Oh, God. I love Gomamon being kind of almost being wise at the beginning, because, like, Joe's like, are the fish actually working against him? And he's like, when you gather a bunch of the weak, you can overpower the strong. And then he's like, oh wait, never mind, it's not working.
Sometimes the strong are a little too strong.
Joe's unconscious when they first land, like he's still like passed out, and Gomamon tries and convince Sword like, hey, we need to boost his confidence, let's make him the leader. And so they
fantastic idea.
Yeah, so they gaslight Joe into being their leader, and he leads them to a church where humans, which he's very excited because this proves his theory that yes, there are humans, are in very human-like mask, celebrating possibly Halloween, and all wearing very much not a cross on their neck. Definitely not a cross.
Nah, totally not.
Joe reveals that he is allergic to pain.
Same.
I hate that.
He's just allergic to everything.
He is. God, this episode is a lot of nothing. Like the only thing I really have is like, yeah, like
there's literally nothing. It's like, oh, sacrificial shit.
Yeah. So the humans are actually ghost Digimon called Bakumon, and they're celebrating their Lord Bakumon, which is the big Bakumon that they summon later. They get rid of the Bakuman or they weaken him with a chant in the
I'm so
dub.
angry about that.
Yeah, that was really dumb.
In the dub, it's a very offbeat chant to him beating on Sora's helmet saying Bakuman loses power. In the subtitle, it's even more ridiculous. So
What is it?
It's like a whole prayer, right?
it's a whole
Yeah.
prayer. It's like a Buddhist Hindu sutra, but the context of it is it's the sutra that his grandmother taught him to pray for to get good grades in school before a test. So the prayer translation is literally like him praying about good grades and like school scores and stuff. Like he's chanting about school scores and
This episode sucks.
There's only one good
Holy
part
shit.
about it, and that was
Bad.
when Biomon and Gomamon were fucking making that Bakuman come close to the jail cell so they could beat his ass.
oh yeah,
That was so
Yeah.
funny.
they get thrown into jail.
That's not how you
Gomamon.
taunt somebody. Come closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. Bonk.
I love that he wakes him up by popping his snot bubble. Like,
I mean, that's a perfect way to wake up. You ever have one of those pop on your face and you're like, oh, God, yeah.
I can't say I've ever had a snot bubble pop on my face. I will be happy to never have that on my
No.
record. God. Yeah, I don't have much other than that.
That was literally the only good part about this
That's the episode.
Just the jail cell scene was the only good part. And maybe
wow.
Joe almost drowning.
And this one, the Bakemon were putting the salt and pepper on
oh my god.
Sora and Joe, and I was like, they do have salt and pepper. Those motherfuckers ate those bland eggs with no seasoning, and they've had
Oh,
this
yeah.
beer.
Oh my god.
I also hate that I love this. This is one of my favorite virus Digimon.
Uh-huh.
And they just fucking shaft this poor guy, making him an idiot. And he's in the worst episode of the series.
Yeah.
I know as a kid I thought it was really clever that they're like trick or treat. It's a trick, you're the treat, and now I'm like 30 and I'm like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, now after some time it sounds horribly wrong.
Yeah. Also, they do a big chant when they're summoning the big Bakuman about making sure you know that they're scary ghost.
Yeah.
And they got to make sure you
that
know they're
wasn't
scary
obvious
ghost.
enough.
Yeah, you gotta be reminded.
They definitely are ghost with big protruding teeth. It's not kind of unsettling.
Ooh.
Right? Can we go to?
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, now
Next
we get the
episode.
cute episode.
Now we get a much better episode.
Yeah, episode 12, Digi Baby Boom. The two babies find primary village. They learn a bunch of about the birth of Digimon, about the Digi eggs, and how Digimon are born. And they run into their caretaker, Elecmon, who thinks they're bullying the babies in the subtitle, not really conveyed very well in the dub. Which is why he attacks initially. And yeah, they kind of learn a little bit, and they talk a bit about how Patamon wants to digivolve. TK has some very interesting ideas of what he would digivolve into.
I love that this entire episode is basically everybody calling Patamon a pig.
So that's dubisms. So
Yeah, I know.
but the subtitle isn't much better because the translation for the names that TK gives these two mons, while they still do look like a pig and a hippopotamus, the translation is "it must be like this mon, or possibly like that mon," are the names that TK comes up with.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Also, they refer to Japanese wording as digicode for the first time in this because they didn't want to acknowledge that Japanese have their own language.
Yes, we can't address other languages besides ours.
And then they have a sumo tug of war to settle the differences between Patamon and Elecmon because TK gets sad because Mommy Elecmon and Daddy Patamon are fighting. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, this was a
I love
goofy
that it was hinted
episode.
for a sumo wrestle, and I thought, oh, okay, cool. There's gonna sumo wrestle, and it turns into tug of war. It's
Yeah.
like, ah.
Yeah.
There was potential. God damn it.
It was adorable. Even TK gets into his role of like actually announcing them as if he would a sumo match and everything, and he has the full gear.
Yeah, where the fuck did he get those clothes? We're finding more plot clothing convenience.
Listen. There somewhere. He had a costume somewhere in that backpack. He just
File Island is crazy.
Yo.
File Island just makes whatever the fuck you want when you need it.
It does. Yeah, so Patamon wins the tug of war sumo match. And Elecmon really does immediately try to daddy Patamon into being a caretaker for the village, and it's just straight up just like
you get to inherit my village now.
Yeah,
You win.
yeah, you're gonna stay here and raise my babies with me, right?
Did we just become lovers? What the fuck's going on?
Oh man, I did not remember this that much when I was rewatching it. I was like, oh my god.
I do like how easy it is for Elecmon to get food for all the babies. He just zaps a river and all the fish are his.
He also just kind of left that giant bag of fish behind and it's never talked about again.
That's true.
Yeah.
He never went back for it.
It's fine. It's fine. He can just go back and get another net full of fish. It's fine.
Yeah. Somebody probably stole those.
Actually, he could have hit them so hard with his super thunder shocker that they actually deep fried.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, I could cook them real easy.
Mm-hmm. So they might already be cooked and it's completely, totally fine.
Rare. That's what Keja's reaction to all the baby Digimons.
I love them so much. They're so cute. I was also like, I have no idea which one is which.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the little black one. The little black one is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Which is Agumon, right?
Yeah, it's Agumon's.
Yes, it does link to Agumon eventually.
Yeah. So there are a lot more now. I think those are all the ones that were established at the time.
Yeah, that was Gen 1 babies.
Yeah,
there's hella baby Digimon.
There's a lot more now.
Oh god.
They're all equally as cute and adorable though.
Yeah,
They keep that. The babies are always adorable. So they just come in all
what were
colors.
the babies? Because you've got the black one, which links to Agumon. Little ghost looking thing.
The ghost one goes into Tentomon, I'm pretty sure.
The ghost one also goes into Patamon and Tentomon.
Yep.
It goes both.
Okay.
I think it also delves into Biomon as well.
I thought Biomon came from the red one.
Oh no. I'm thinking Uriamon for Biomon. The bearded one with the two purple
Oh
things.
yeah.
Oh.
That one goes into Palmon and Biomon if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Most Digivolutions are branches like that, so like a lot of these will start off with the same.
The red one goes into Gomamon.
Gomamon. Okay.
Huh.
That makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
I was gonna say, wait, does it?
Listen.
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
I was trying to think which one would go into Gomamon, and I'm like, it's not Koramon's, and it's not the fuzzy one, and it wouldn't be the ghost one, so it makes sense it would be the red one.
Yeah, the red one also goes into Betamon too.
Oh, okay.
Who?
It's I don't know if we'll actually see that particular one in this series, but
No,
it's another common rookie form.
Yeah, we'll see it in O2.
Yeah.
But it's the baby or the child form of Seadramon, the big serpent snake. So.
Ooh. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
It also has a mohawk.
Yep.
Yeah.
He a cute baby.
Oh, okay, I get it. It's because it's got 3 little horns on its head, so it keeps like a punk kind of aesthetic to it.
Yep.
Okay.
There is also a reference to the power of friendship in this episode.
Oh God, yes.
There is, so this one had a lot of foreshadowing in the subtitled, because we have, I don't know if it was this episode or the episode before, we got a glimpse of Devimon, and he's talking about the children, and in the dub it's very different what he's saying, but in the subtitled he's talking about like, I have to get all this done before he appears. And at the time, of course, we don't know who he is. Since we've already watched episode 13, we know who he is. But he makes a lot of, he's taking account that like all the partners have evolved except for one. I have to finish my plan. In the dub, he refers to them by like name. He does not do that in the sub. He does not give a shit about their name. He wants them all dead because he wants to fulfill his plan, and he knows.
Yeah, that was funny that he just magically knew the names off the top of his head.
Yeah.
Cyan met. What?
Yeah.
And then he even gets the pairings mixed up because he says Joe's with Mimi and not TK. Sora's with oh my god, I always forget his name.
Izzy.
Izzy. Yeah, I always forget Izzy's name for some reason because he's got a different name in the subtitles.
He has a different name in the subtitles, but he's still referred to as Izzy in like most of the text. I don't know why in the subtitles they're like, oh,
like Izumi, right?
Yeah,
yes, that's why I always get it fucked up.
So the fun fact about Izzy is right. So Izumi is his family name, and Koshiro is his given name.
Yeah.
But he's referred to as Izzy as his nickname, and then in the subtitles they're like, oh, well, we're just gonna call him Koshiro in the subtitles, even though he's clearly saying Izzy. But I guess it makes sense because it's not common for people to have nicknames based off of their family name.
Yeah.
So
see, that's always what's fucked me up with Izzy because like in every different thing, subtitle, dub, different series, they always like have some sort of other name for him. It never really clicks in my head to keep it.
Yeah, I struggle a little with a few of the names because I'm with Matt. I always want to immediately go Yamato, and I'm like, no, it's Matt. It's because like Taichi.
I'm not gonna lie, Yamato's better.
Yeah, Yamato and Taichi are just turned into Tai and Matt for the dub. TK also throws me off a lot because I am now used to calling him Takeru. So the name changes throw me off. Why did they keep Sora's name, but they can't keep any others? Because like Joe's
because Sora's easy to remember.
Joe and Mimi are still like, I guess, the same. Those are the only two that did not change at all. And then Sora's didn't change. And I'm like, okay, but like, why?
But why though?
Yeah. Yes, I anytime I'm like talking about a character, I immediately pause and I'm like, wait, dub name or English name? Dub name or English name? Differentiate. But yeah, so there's a little bit of foreshadowing in the episode 11 and 12 to like this final episode of like what's going to happen and stuff, like the foreshadowing of the angel painting to like, oh, I have to do everything before he appears, to just talking about like, oh, they've all evolved except for the one, I still have time. Like the build up for it is so good in the subtitled, and they just kind of like nuked all that with the dub. Not as bad as they nuked this last episode, which is. Y'all have any more thoughts on Baby Boom?
Other than that, I loved it. No.
I had a feeling it was gonna be Keja's favorite episode.
So cute.
This was the palate cleanser before the storm.
Yep. So final episode for this arc, episode 13, The Legend of the Digidestined. most of the kids make their way back to the main island and are now confronted with Devimon, because apparently TK was still on this fucking island. He was the only one that didn't get yeeted to another island, because now he's being attacked, and Big Brother Matt comes and saves the day. TK experiences his 3rd level of trauma, and yeah, I wish I would have made y'all watch this in the subtitle. I will go into that later, but like, talk. This episode. It's so good, but it's so disheartening when I know how it's actually played out in the subtitle. So, yeah, our final big bad. So Ogremon body horror, because Devimon.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Devimon took Ogremon into his body, and he makes a reappearance.
Is this DNA Digivolution?
No, this is Toon World from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god.
Except Devimon's like, oh, Yu-Gi boy, I summon Ogremon.
Oh lord. So yeah, they all kind of come in and they all start fighting Devimon, who is gigantic now after intaking Ogremon, and Leomon, who is again being mind controlled, gets yeeted in with like 6 black gears and is also turned into like Mega Leomon somehow.
Goes through a palette change and everything.
I like the palette swap on that.
Yeah.
Because he becomes Pangemon colors.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Actually, wait, did we get the Leomon? No, we got the Leomon explanation this episode, right? Where Leomon sat down with the kids.
Yeah.
So they fight Leomon. They get him free of the mind control again, and he tells them about the Digidestined and like how they're supposed to save File Island, and all the all the lore stuff that we've been kind of being hinted at before. And then Devimon comes in. I jumped right into the Devimon fight because I forgot about the Leomon thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much build up straight into the fight. It's
No.
just basically Leomon's explanation and Izzy saying,
Well,
if we save the world, we get to go back home. Clear logic.
Yeah.
This dub is goofy as hell.
Right.
I can't remember if the fight was in that one, because they fought Leomon and Ogremon originally in the start of the episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't very long, but
No.
It was a quickie.
Oh
my god.
I think they were all doing the Digivolution, and like, you know, each of the tamer was like saying something in between. Like, I took note because Izzy said something really dumb.
Oh god.
Like, I think when he digivolved into Kabuterimon, he said, "My biology teacher would love this," and I'm like,
I never
"That's
heard
really
that!
obvious."
Oh my god.
Do not put Kabuterimon on pins in a case.
Oh my god. I mean, he do got wings though.
I mean, he do got nice wings.
Got nice wings.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, the fight happens so quickly, and it's kind of jarring because I don't remember the fight going this quickly initially.
Yeah.
But I'm also
rushed.
I'm so used to I guess shonen fights taking like 20 episodes. So
yeah.
yeah, we get a really heartbreaking of like Devimon is going for Patamon and TK because saying like, oh, I have to get rid of him first, and then in the last moment Patamon is like crying like, why can't I digivolve, why can't I protect him, and then like he finally digivolves and saves the day.
Because it's all stemming from TK not wanting the fucking fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not handled. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and explain how this is handled in the subtitle because it's not handled well in the dub. In the dub, it's just like everything happens at once, and then all of a sudden, Angemon is now dead.
Yeah.
So, in the subtitle, one, the build up for this evolution is phenomenal. So, the music's changed a lot in the overall like soundtrack for Digimon throughout the series, which isn't a big deal until this scene for me, because during the fight when everyone's fighting Devimon, the music that is playing is kind of like a sad, slow violin in the background. And as Devimon is reaching for Patamon and TK, and he closes his fist around Patamon, the violin just stops. Like, the last thing you hear from Patamon is, "Why can't I Digivolve?" And then music just stops, and it's just dead quiet. And then Braveheart starts playing, which Braveheart is the Digivolution theme for the Japanese version.
That sounds
now
so
I'm
much
upset.
cooler.
Now I'm upset you didn't make us watch the sub.
That sounds awesome.
It's so fucking good. And then like he comes out and he's all badass and he's like, he asked everybody, "Can I borrow your power?" Which is when you get all the beams of light from all the Digivices.
That
and
makes
everyone,
so much more sense.
yeah, and everyone de-digivolves because he's now harnessing their power. And Devimon says something to him about like, you know, if you do this, you're going to die too. And he, in the dub, he turns to TK when TK yells at him and is like, "Don't worry, I got this." But in the subtitle, he says, "I'm sorry." And then he attacks Devimon, and then he reverts back into an egg, and TK is devastated because Patamon promised that he would stay with him in the previous episode.
Oh.
I hate this. That has so much more fucking meaning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about it until like I was finishing up my notes yesterday, and I was like, wait, as I'm reading them, like I know the subtitles super fucking different, so I went ahead and rewatched the subtitle and to refresh myself, and I'm like, shit, is it too late for me to tell everybody to go watch this?
Absolutely, yes, it was.
Yeah, because not gonna lie, my day yesterday, I was so swamped. There was no way in hell I was gonna be able to squeeze in an episode.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, I know part of me was thinking about it when we were watching it together, and my brain, like, I was just tired because a lot of things were going on, so I didn't think fully on it. And then like when it hit me again, I'm like, fuck, I should have made them all watch this, because it's so well done in the subtitle, and it hits so much harder, where in the dub it's just like boom, 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 and then now he's an egg and TK's just crying, which is still sad.
Yeah.
But
it just doesn't hit
God.
the same.
Yeah, the cut back of just, "I'm sorry, TK," or Takeru, and then he just attacks Devimon, and they both just start disappearing, and then TK's just crying, and I'm like, my heart can't handle this.
I hate that the dub fucked it over so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The dub does do a lot better after this.
It does, but God, you butchered a fucking perfect scene to end the arc.
This arc was kind of silly with the dub, I will say.
I think they realized after this episode that it was a lot more serious than they were thinking it was, and they took the plot more serious.
Yeah. So there's a hot rumor that's gone around on the internet for years now, and I have my own takes on this because I think there's truth to the rumors. So the rumors that went around were saying that so Digimon was only slated to be a 13 episode series, and then it took off, and then they were like, oh well, we'll continue the series, and because it was supposed to be just like a promotion for the game, blah blah blah, and they made an alternate ending initially for in case it didn't do well. that was disproven because in interviews they've already said that one, Digimon was slated for a year run, which was why it's 52 episodes, and they wouldn't have canceled it that soon because back then episodes were made way ahead of time instead of just made week to week like they are now.
Yeah.
What I think this rumor stems from more is from the English release. I think they were testing more the waters on the English audience with the 13 episode dub, which would explain a lot of the big changes in consistency that happens after this episode. And it would not be uncommon for English dubbing studios to make false endings in anime for this time period. Because even Sailor Moon had a full, 10-minute English only ending that they added in at the end of the first season for the dub for no fucking reason. That makes no sense. Because if you ever watched the original Sailor Moon series that got dubbed in America, after they fight Queen Beryl, there's just a scene that at the end of it, because they all are supposedly in the original anime, they all kind of lose their memories and go back to being normal high school kids. But for some reason, this whatever programming had Sailor Moon, which I think was Deke, decided we're gonna do the scene between Usagi and Mamoru, or Serenity and Serena and Darien, English names, where they're talking as children, where they meet for the first time as children, which never happened because it's like time rewound itself, which does not make sense, especially when you go into the second season, because that never happened. Yeah. So stuff like that has happened in English dubbing. So I wonder if some of that rumor comes from the English dub itself. Because of the that was something that was possibly on the table of we're gonna, make it a script for an alternate ending for episode 13 in case this doesn't do well. And that just got lost in the sauce over 20 years. But I also think, and this is based off of interviews I've read, that the first 13 episodes were the initial kind of pilot pitch for this, where that's the only thing they had hashed out at the time, because a lot of the stuff that happens later on, if you read in interviews, they're like, we didn't have this plan. This was planned much later. This was planned when it's happening, which it's consistent with the story. It's just a lot of characters and a lot of plot points that happen later on were not initially planned in the scripts. So we get a certain character that's introduced in about 10 or so episodes. They had no idea it was going to exist at this point in time. So I think that's a good indication of why this arc is the way it is. It was meant to be a standalone pilot to get this series off the ground, so they could actually get the green light to make it, as well as the dub just being like, hey, we don't know if this is gonna work because we don't have anything like this over here yet, because Pokemon wasn't airing yet, so they didn't know how that was gonna do either, and that was on a different network altogether, so they wouldn't have known anything about licensing that. So it was very much a hey, we're gonna try this. We're gonna commit to dubbing 13 episodes, and if it flops, we only did 13 episodes, and it very much did not. So that's my theory, at least. That is all the research I have done on that.
Definitely see that, because that seems like the way that arc ended, it seems like a good stopping point. We did it, we saved File Island, everything is fine and back together.
Yeah.
And Patamon is just reverted to a Digi-Egg, and we start anew.
God, imagine. Okay, so we get the appearance of a strange old man at the end of this episode. We didn't mention that. He pops out of a hologram in the middle of a rock out of nowhere, and it's just hey kids.
It was Master Roshi.
Yeah. Like, how fucked would it be that TK just made a friend with Patamon, and then Patamon just died in front of him, and then this old man's just like, yeah, I'm sending y'all home. You never see him again. Bye.
I mean, to be fair, I could probably see Jedi doing that.
That's true. But yeah, now we got a creepy old man that's about to tell the kids some stuff in the next episode. A lot of stuff.
Lord.
Mhm.
It's sweet. I'm excited for. Well, maybe not this next arc. Actually, now that I'm remembering what's coming up,
You don't like Elvis?
Uh-huh.
it's it's going to be an interesting next few episodes because I don't remember a lot of this arc.
I remember this arc being a lot longer than it actually is, and when I saw how many episodes this arc is gonna be, I'm like, oh fuck. So, which is really bizarre because I remember the next arc after that not being as long as what it seems to be, because I did not
Mhm.
realize that the next arc is as long as it is. So, Keja's gonna be in for a treat. I don't know how she's gonna feel about Elvis.
Oh yeah, this next arc, as someone who's never seen the show, is gonna definitely be interesting. I'm sure.
Oh God.
I'm trying. I'm skimming through the stuff on the wiki just to see, to get an idea.
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay,
Mhm.
it's not as. It'll be interesting.
Yep. Keja's in for a treat.
I like a lot of the ideas that they portray in the future episodes.
Yeah. We definitely get a lot more lore and a lot more like character development coming up soon too, so
Mhm.
that's gonna be fun. Well, character development for everybody except for Sora.
Who?
She- most useless character in the entire fucking show.
Whomst? Whomst is the Sora character?
Literally who?
God, we're gonna get to the episode where I really just start hating her, and I'm not gonna be able to handle it. Like, I already just don't like her at this point, but like, oh my god.
Oh, there's an episode. I'm looking at the list. There's an episode this arc that I actually do really like that I'm excited to get to.
Oh yeah. There's some of this arc that's really good. That's why I'm like, y'all forgetting some shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing one, and I'm dreading this one the most.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a
no.
couple misses, but like I think there's more hits in this one than there were in the first 13 episodes combined.
Oh,
You s-
definitely. This
So.
this is gonna be way better than the first
Mhm.
12.
Yeah.
You said episode 20 was the last of the arc, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that?
I
Wait,
believe so.
wouldn't that mean we have 7 episodes to watch again to finish the arc?
No, because we did 13.
Yeah,
So
so we've already-
14,
14.
15, 16, 17. Wait. 14.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
So it's 7?
It's
Is it
Yeah,
7?
it's 7
Yeah.
episodes.
Oh, it's 6.
I counted that in my head a few times too. 'Cause
Yeah.
15,
counting
16,
episode
17,
14
18.
itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
Math
which
is
isn't
hard.
Wait.
that's not
which
bad.
isn't bad. It's a good
Um,
one to end on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just doing the math in my head. I was like, something feels off here.
My brain was like, 15 is 5 plus 1 is 6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That's why I shouldn't make decisions. Alright. It's fun. We'll get that arc out of the way, and then we'll get into the big beefy arc after that. So
Yeah, the big arc where all the
Mhm.
animation styles is a little bit better.
yeah. All right. Favorite mons or favorite evolutions from any of y'all, if they've changed.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Devimon's design, even though he's a giant cocksucker. And I
Fair.
love Alekmon. He's one of my favorite rookies.
Yeah, I like Mon's cute.
Leomon is so cool. I've always loved Leomon, like design wise, like character wise. He's so sick.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't comment without spoiling shit. So
Mhm.
I love the Angemon evolution, the first evolution. So
Mhm.
that one's always just like hit me the hardest.
I just like how he wields his staff like a sword, and then it just melts away into his fist.
I mean, like
You
most
thought
guys,
I was
right?
gonna hit you? Oh yeah, you know what? That's fair. They get their hands around it, and then all of a sudden it disappears. It's like, wow.
Keja, what's your favorite Digimon before this gets worse?
So my thing is like I have like 3 different ones. Like
Mhm.
Monzamon is still like my favorite cute wise.
Uh-huh.
Leomon's just cool.
Mhm.
But then it's like I really, despite what I said when I first saw Frigimon, personality wise, he's great. I
He's
love him so much.
fantastic.
He's the snowman New Yorker you love.
Yep.
He's just got such a personality on him. Like,
Mhm.
how can you not love him?
Oh, Frigimon's great. Oh god, if we ever get to Savers and you meet the Frigimon there. Oh.
Now, remind me,
Mm-hmm.
Savers, is that
Data
third
Squad.
series? Okay,
That's
it's Data Squad.
yeah.
Thank God. I want to get to that so much because that is literally my favorite protagonist of all time.
That's
Marcus is so cool.
That's
I fucking love Marcus Damon.
I always forget, is Data Squad after Frontier or Frontier after Data Squad?
Frontier is
after.
before.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I never remember what order they came out. I know what order I watched them in, so
Mhm.
For me, if I remember right, it was Adventure, O2, Tamers. Is the
Tamers
third series,
third,
right?
Tamers,
yeah.
yeah.
And then Frontier came after Tamers, I believe, and then Data
Yep.
Squad.
See, I skipped Frontier initially and I watched right into Data Squad and then I watched Frontier later, so that's why I'm like, I'm not sure.
Frontier's not a bad series. I
No,
like the
it's good.
ideas that they had.
It was fun.
It's an interesting one.
But no, Data Squad hands down is my favorite like series, honestly.
Tamer's still my favorite.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm still a sucker for Tamers.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, Tamers is a good fucking series.
Mm-hmm. Tamers was initially the one where I was like, if this keeps going, I'm gonna get Keja on Tamers regardless. Because I know Keja will like Tamers a lot more than she'll like this original one. And then Keja was like, I want to do this one. And I'm like, okay.
You got me for the long haul. As long as you want to keep this thing alive, I'll gladly give my time.
Well, if we still have enough people to do it and people watching it, I'm down to do it. But I feel like at that point, if we do this for the long haul, it's gonna switch from being a bi-weekly to a weekly, or else we're gonna be doing this for years.
Oh,
you know, that's fair.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, with all that, unless y'all have any final thoughts, we'll wrap this up.
What an arc. We did it.
Yeah.
we got through the most painful section of the series.
Yep.
Yeah, how did it feel, how did the first arc of Digimon feel, Keja, as a newcomer to the series?
I mean, I'm just glad it's over. Like, it's not bad. As I said before, like, I understand that it's, you know, when you're rewatching it, it feels slow. For me, like, it's a good introduction to the series. So I felt like I learned a lot from it, but I also do understand that it is very, very slow.
Right.
It does give you a lot of information if you're completely new, but it can be much.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a great build up. I like that they did spend enough time with each of the characters in this to like at least let you get a feel for what they're like in these episodes.
Yeah.
You get again a lot more on most of them. You don't get anything more of Sora, but you get a lot more on most of them. I mean, you basically what you learn about Sora is just like, all right, cool.
She's just your generic ass like white girl growing up.
She really is.
Everybody's got cool backstories aside from Sora.
But she's the one that acts like, okay, this is gonna be slight spoilers. I'm definitely gonna bitch about this when the episode comes up. But she is very much like she had the perfectly fine upbringing with a perfectly fine parents, and she's just like that. She's that kid in school that had the perfectly normal life. It's like, oh, my parents don't love me and they hate me and they won't buy me the newest iPhone. I'm so edgy, like that kind of person that just bitches how horrible their parents are to all their friends who are like in divorced homes and adopted and shit. And she's just like, my parents are the worst.
You have real parents? Your dad didn't leave for milk and never came back? What the fuck?
Your parents are married?
She is the equivalent of Sakura and Naruto going to Sasuke and saying, Naruto sucks. Orphans shouldn't have rights. To the kid who just had... Yeah. Sakura goes to Sasuke, who just had his entire family massacred, by the way. And is just like, yeah, Naruto doesn't know how to act because he's an orphan and doesn't have parents, and orphans just shouldn't be considered regular people. To the guy who just had his entire family massacred. Sora is basically like that, but at least Sakura kind of realizes she fucked up after a while. Sora never does.
Look, there's a lot of things about Sakura that's fucked.
Yeah.
I don't think that woman ever redeemed herself in any point of the story.
No, not at all.
No. Anyways, with that, we'll wrap up the episode before we get into Naruto talking even more. Keja, where can they find you?
I stream on Twitch at KJames13, and I have Twitter under the same name.
And Kain, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at punished_Kain.
And Zeta, where can they find you?
You can find me at Zeta Sapphire at Twitch, TikTok, and Twitter.
And I am Cyan Kincaid on Twitch and Twitter. You can also find all updates regarding this podcast on RiceCon Podcast on Twitter, as well as information on the regular podcast I run as well. Brain broke. What? Next episode, we'll be going through episodes 14 through 20 to finish off the next arc. All links to all of our shit will be in the description wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. I forgot what else I'm supposed to say. Either way, fuck it. Bye. We're done.
Professional podcaster, everybody. Let's go.
That's a good outro. I like that.
Good ending.
It's got some character in there.